Check, check, check. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jaking Off. Another episode. Boy, oh boy. How fun. They said I couldn't do it. They said, there's no way that you can record a podcast by yourself and do 4 episodes. But here it is. Here's number 4, dude. God, Jesus. I've had some technical difficulties in the last day or two. It's been rough, dude. I wish that I could hire a person to do stuff for me, but I also am a control freak. Like, even if I had the money, I don't. I can't hire anybody. The idea of me having an employee is hilarious. But even if I wanted to, or even if I could, I wouldn't be able to really. I'm a control freak. I'm a psychopath, and so I want to like learn how to do everything myself, because otherwise it'll just I'll just micromanage whoever else is doing it. I'm difficult to work with, and my name is Jake Redpath. Welcome to another episode of Jaking Off. Boy, oh boy. Are we excited? It's been a good week or so since the last time I talked to you. New Year's Eve has come and gone. Goodbye, New Year's Eve. Yeah, I had a nice New Year's Eve. Did you? If you something crazy happened, send it over. I got 3 emails. Oh shit. I got 3 people emailed me for advice. 3 people. That's tight, dude. I really, really appreciate it. And I will be answering those 3 people in this episode. So stick around and listen if you want to, or you can skip ahead. I don't know. Is this even good? But yeah, I was really excited. If you have anything you want to send to me, as always, even if it's, if it's advice or like you saw something cringeworthy on the internet, I love that stuff. I got one of those in this episode. Jimmy Fallon, what are you doing, dude? Stop singing. It's really bad. He did a cringy little like fucking COVID song, dude. But okay, I keep getting off topic. Send anything at all to jaken.off.podcast@gmail.com, or send it to jaken.off.podcast on Instagram. You can send it there too, and I will do my best to look at it. And then if it's something that I like, I will do it. If it's advice, I'll give it on the podcast. So I got 3 of those. There's been a bunch of stuff going on. I had a good New Year's Eve. I realized that I was fucking up in my life. I was so for New Year's Eve, my girlfriend and I and a couple of our other friends, we went to a masquerade. It was a macabre themed masquerade thing, and it was cool. It was at like a convention center. There was a DJ, there was food and drinks, there was like a burlesque show in a different room. They had people like with booths set up that were like selling jewelry and shit. And it was fun. It was a fun time. But yeah, I kept telling people that I was going to an Eyes Wide Shut party. And I've never seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut. I just know it as like a reference. And so this is where I put my foot in my mouth. I shouldn't have fucking been making jokes about shit, a fucking movie that I've never seen. But I kept telling people, yeah, like I'm going to an Eyes Wide Shut party, like joking around, because I thought the movie Eyes Wide Shut, like for me, the reference is that they're at a masquerade, and the reason why it's a masquerade is because it's like the Illuminati. I didn't know that the movie was about orgies and stuff, and so I kept telling people, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to like an Eyes Wide Shut party type thing, like joking around, and they would be like, what the fuck, like, dude, what? And I'd be like, no, I'm like kidding, like, but I didn't understand why people were having such a negative reaction to it. I thought it was just like a funny joke. Like, I thought that they would get that it was a joke. But joke's on me. A joke is on me, dude. So if I told you, if you're listening to this and I told you that I was going to an Eyes Wide Shut party and you took it as, that I was going to an orgy, I wasn't. No judgment if you do go to orgies, I guess. Got to do what you got to do, dude. Squirrel's got to get his nut. The squirrel has got to get his nut. We're all just squirrels looking for our nut, aren't we? No, I mean, I don't think I could never be in like an orgy. I can't wrap my head around it. It just sounds like a lot of pressure, I guess is what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have that amount of stress. Okay? It stresses me out to think about that many people all in a room at the same time, watching me, staring right at my penis. What? Why are they all looking at it? Oh my God. No, I really do. The prospect of, and then there's like other people fucking. They all always seem to be old, just to be, and we, there's no shame in being old. We're all gonna get old one day. But I will say that the most of the people in orgies do seem to be old, right? That's like an old person thing. It's just that they've lived traditionally for so long, and they're sick of it or whatever. And so they're gonna, hey, gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Dude, that's like a thing that people say. They're like, old people fuck like even more than young people or something. You know what I mean? They're like, old people fuck. That's like a thing that people talk about, like in nursing homes. They're like, dude, in nursing homes, those old people, they cannot stop. They can't stop everywhere, dude. Bingo. Oh my God, hand jobs under the table at bingo. Oh, how do you know so much about this, dude? That's what people say, though. They're like, yeah, dude, even in retirement communities, they're going off. They're fucking pounding away, I guess. Squirrels get old, dude. Squirrels get old, too. We're all squirrels. Just trying to find our nut. Well, yeah, I had a good New Year's. I didn't go to an orgy. If you do, yuck. No, I'm just kidding. If you do, good for you. Keep it away from me. I don't want that in my neighborhood. Not in my not in my backyard. Yeah, I'm NIMBY, but for orgies. I'm joking, of course. That is a joke. I am joking. What else? Oh, on New Year's Eve, the party that I was at, that we went to, though, this event, not an Eyes Wide Shut party. We get there, and the first thing that happens when we get there is this lady is walking down the hallway. It's the hallway with all the people that were selling stuff, the booths and shit. And she's walking down the hallway, and her husband or boyfriend or whatever is behind her and has like his hand on her back and is sort of escorting her down this hallway in a hurry. And she's putting her hand over her mouth. And as she's doing that, she just pukes everywhere, just all over the floor, everywhere, dude. And it's gross. It's disgusting. It's on her hand. It's fucking nasty. And it's only 10 o'clock. So this lady then obviously like runs to the bathroom, and it must have been kind of embarrassing, but she gets there, and then they have to clean up the puke, all that stuff. You get it. You've seen people puke before. But the thing that was fucked up, though, what was fucked up about it is that she didn't leave the party. So then the rest of the night, like every so often, I walk by this lady that threw up earlier, and I just keep having to remember, like, ugh, a lady threw up earlier. And it's gross. It's disgusting. Dude, if you throw up in that manner, if you puke on the floor, okay? I've believe me, I've puked. Okay? I've puked places. I told the story on this podcast about throwing up in my aunt's bushes at Christmas Eve. But the difference is that I went outside. I went outside. I go to the bathroom to puke, okay? I go away from where the people are. And obviously this lady was trying to make it to the bathroom and she didn't make it, and it's unfortunate, but that happens sometimes. It's not like she did it on purpose. But if it happens, you have to leave the place you're at. Because otherwise, everybody else there, every time they see you, they have to be reminded of the fact that a lady fucking threw up earlier, okay? And it's gross and it's disgusting. And, you know, it's just rude. It's rude to stay there. So, yeah, I'm pissed. I'm not pissed, but you know what I mean? If you make it to the bathroom, if you throw up outside, if you throw up away from people and nobody really sees it, then you don't have to leave. You don't have to. But if you throw up in the middle of the floor in front of everybody, and it's not even a matter of, oh, well, you might be sick, like you could get people sick or whatever. You know, I obviously some other people are probably worried about that or something. I just think it's fucking gross. I just think it's gross. And you should have to leave. And you know, not like somebody should come and force you to leave, but you just as a normal person within society should not want to even stay there. Aren't you embarrassed a little bit? Yucky. One time I threw up in the middle of somebody's floor, and I left immediately. That's what I did. I didn't even clean up. I didn't even clean up after myself, which was really rude. You know what? It was, the situation, though, was a little bit different. I was at somebody's house. There's like a house party happening, and I puked onto the floor. But there was like some other commotion happening in a different part of the party. And so everybody was like, it was, you know, something more important than me throwing up. So only like my friends that I was there with, like a couple of buddies of mine, saw me throw up. And so all I did was I laid paper towels over it, and then like where the puke was. So that way nobody got it on their shoes, was my reasoning. And then we left. And maybe that was bad. That was the wrong way to leave. Just puke on somebody's floor. I'm realizing now that that was kind of rude, but that person turned out to be an awful person. So, checkmate. No, that's cool. I just, you know, I don't think that it's crazy to be kind of grossed out by, because it's just every time I see this lady, I remember that she puked. I remember what it looked like. I like remember that she hasn't left, and so she probably still has like puke breath and, you know, puke on her teeth and shit, and it's just gross and it's yucky. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about this in so much detail. It just was disturbing. I was disturbed. People these days, huh? What has society come to? What has society come to these days? Um it's been a crazy week, dude. All the stuff with the NFL, of course, you saw it. I'm recording this late enough. Now we know that Damar Hamlin is doing like way better, but that was a crazy time. That was a crazy. That was the scariest. One of the scary. I mean, that's the scariest thing that I've ever seen on TV. That guy. I mean, he just fell over, and oh, it was frightening. I'm starting to think that this whole sport of football is kind of dangerous for people. Do you guys think so? Don't you guys think that it's a little weird? I I don't know, man. It's good that he's doing better. Also, it was crazy. He does like a toys for like a toy drive in Pittsburgh every year, and his goal was like $2,500. And through donations and stuff, with everything that was going on, he raised $8 million. That's great. So that was nice. I feel like it was one of those things, dude. It was wild. Like right after it happened, I was messaging. This is how fucked up my algorithm is on social media, especially on profiles that I use to just lurk and read stuff, because I was looking at all the stuff and I was messaging with some friends, and pretty quickly people started saying, they were like, the vaccine got another one. They were like, this, this, like, they were tying it into this sort of anti-vax like line, and it was happening. Like, I was seeing a bunch of stuff about it on my Twitter timeline, and I was messaging some of my friends, and one of my buddies was like, I'm not seeing any of that. I was like, really? I'm seeing so much, just like, and then I guess I assumed, because they were really popular tweets, they were getting a lot of views and stuff, but he was like, no, I'm not seeing that stuff. And I was like, yikes. Uh-oh. uh, so I'm trying to maybe not look at a bunch of stuff that uh, makes my phone like that for a little bit. But I can't help it. It's so addicting, dude. It's so addicting to go on BitChute and watch videos. There's a guy I love on BitChute. His name is well, I don't love him. I gotta quit saying that I love these people. I don't. I mean, this guy is like a really big extremist. His name is what is his name? Oh, Harry Vox, Vox, Harry Vox. And he's like, I mean, anti-Semitic, like a big, like, you know, anti-Semitism guy. He's on Twitter and posts wildly anti-Semitic stuff on there. But he has like some really insane videos on BitChute about not fucking people who are vaccinated, because there's this thing called slothing, which is like that. You've probably heard people talk. They're like, they're shedding the vaccine and stuff. And so this guy, I got into this dude over the pandemic because he is like just an absolute maniac. And I mean, he's saying like some really like wild shit. And I hadn't watched any of his stuff in a really long time, but then he was on Twitter. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot about this guy. Maybe I'll see if I can find a video of this guy to play. Let's find one. Here we go. Okay. This is this is his don't fuck the vaccinated stuff. Here it is. And okay, I'm going to preface this. This guy is going to talk, if you're like listening to this in a place where there are people around you, you might want to turn the volume down a little bit. So
no way, man. These people are like, they're defective, like in every way now. They are like they are the, I don't know how to describe it. They're sort of let's put it this way. The blood and semen of the unvaxxed is going to command a high premium. I promise you. When these fucking retards finally wake up, that they've made a terrible mistake, they'll hunker down in denial. They'll double down in denial, like all these people are doing now. But I think secretly you wouldn't want a blood transfusion from one of these, and you don't want any of their semen anywhere near you because it's tainted. They have tainted blood, tainted semen, tainted love. So I wouldn't fuck a vaccinated person, and I wouldn't fuck a mask wearer. I don't fuck retards. Yeah, there you go. Have a nice day.
I mean, yeah, he's a fucking absolute psycho, dude. I just love the conviction behind his words is unsettling. I don't fuck masked people. It does frighten me that I'm also doing a show where I sit in a room by myself and talk. I'm like, is that me? Is this gonna be me? Definitely not with those views. But oof, yeah. That guy's on Twitter. All of his videos a lot of the times end with like just white screen or white text on a black screen and just a bunch of like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and stuff. Um, yeah, man, I gotta quit watching so much of it. It's so bad for me because it's not. I don't agree with it at all. I find it, you know, not only wrong, but in a it's hateful and um, just toxic. And that's the problem though, is that I for some reason can't stop watching. I can't look away. I can't help myself. I can't look away. And I do this in real life too. I do this in regular life with stuff because if you spend enough time on this earth, eventually you're going to be in a situation where somebody is acting in a way that is out of line, or they're doing something that is abnormal and weird and strange and maybe a little scary, and you have to try to ignore it, as best you can, or else you might get roped into a situation that maybe you don't want to be roped into. And even in those situations, a lot of the times I can't help but look. I can't help but peek a little bit. And with the way that everything is online, I know right where to go to look at all these people. Dude, there were periods of my life where where I would just watch bus fights, people like getting in fights on buses, for some reason, and I love watching. Even before I started doing comedy, I would go in and type comedian bombs or like comedian bombing, and there would be a ton of videos of comedians doing like these awful acts or whatever, and or something like that, and people putting them up out of like spite, that this person like ate shit or whatever. I can't help it. I love it so much, dude. There's a guy on BitChute called the Honky Patriot that I watch. He does like a news thing where it's like, so with the Kevin McCarthy stuff, with the thing that was happening with the him being elected Speaker of the House, I went on because I was like, I gotta see what Honky Patriot is saying about this, because he always, the whole way that he does news, and I think it's so hilarious to watch, is it's just his computer screen. So he's recording his computer screen and his voice, but he's just reading news articles from, like Gateway Pundit and stuff like that. Like he's a real he's reading news articles and he's just going, wow. I mean, wow. And it's all fake stuff though. I'll play you know what? I'll play a clip of fucking the old Honky Patriot really quick. Here he is. This is the Honky Patriot. So this this video, just to clarify, is called Kevin McCarthy is a pedophile. So I just wanted to be clear of like the point of this video is that Kevin McCarthy is a pedophile.
Welcome back, friends, to more Based Stream News. Well, friends, seems late last night, past my bedtime, in the cover of darkness, the way they like it, the Uniparty installed Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House. Then I saw this story over here at Natural News. Today, World Economic Forum says the only way to save humanity is to unleash the pedophiles. Oh, wow. Sick. The sickos are coming out now. For those of you who don't know what the WEF is, the World Economic Forum, it's also known as the New World Order, with Bond villain Klaus Schwab at the helm. Look at that character.
He just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah, he,
normal
look
guy.
look at this image here. You got Disney above Epstein Island. Wow. In order to make the world a better place, the World Economic Forum, WEF, wants the nations of the world to legalize or at least decriminalize pedophilia. Wow. Which the globalists are now referring to as age gap love. Sick. What a sick world now. To criminalize the sexual molestation of children is to violate human rights, according to WEF head Klaus Schwab and his partner in crime, Yuval Noah Harari, who says God is dead and Jesus is fake news. Wow. Yeah, let that sink in. WEF. At its most recent Davos gathering, the WEF tried to argue that normalizing pedophilia and child rape will save humanity from, you guessed it, climate change. The WEF also stated that the growing pedophilia epidemic is nature's gift to mankind for a number of reasons. Wow. Destroying the family unit and allowing adult perverts to engage in sexual perversion with underage people, as the WEF is now calling them, will help to depopulate the planet and bring it back into harmony and balance. Wow. Wow. Just sick. These people are, yeah. Yep. That's right. And then for all you folks out there who tell me that Kevin's not WEF, oh no. Yeah, he is. Look at this. World Economic Forum. Kevin McCarthy, Majority Leader of the U.S. House of Representatives. They haven't had time to change it to Speaker of the House yet. I'm sure they will. But yeah, it's the World Economic Forum on their own website.
So all it is, if you guys can't see it, but he's just as pulled up on the World Economic Forum's website a picture of, I'm sure that Kevin McCarthy has attended the World Economic Forum more than once, but his picture is on there because he's the majority leader of the U.S. House of Representatives, and that's all. It's just like maybe like a list of people who have attended the World Economic Forum or something. It's not like he gave a speech there or anything like that, but God, how awesome is that? He's like, wow. It sounds like it's like turning him on a little bit. I think Honky Patriot is like kind of into this kind of shit, you know? It's weird. It does. It's creepy the way that he was reading that. But it's yeah, he's one of my favorites, so I didn't know that Kevin McCarthy was a pedophile, but now I do know that Kevin McCarthy is a pedophile and I can move forward with that information. I can't believe nobody brought up the fact that he's a pedophile when they were voting for him. Why didn't they say anything about it? They should have mentioned it to somebody. Yeah, I love that guy. I had to go see what he was saying about Kevin McCarthy. And it didn't disappoint at all. Wow. It was interesting though. I do think that I watched a lot of the speaker stuff. I watched a pretty decent amount of it on C-SPAN while I was like doing shit at home, and you know, I do find it interesting the sort of coverage that it's been getting in more mainstream news, because it's all either one way or the other. It's either in the conservative sphere of mainstream news, it's all they're really hammering at these people who were rebelling against the Republican Party and stuff like that. If you watch like interviews of Lauren Boebert did one on Hannity, and they really got into it or whatever. But so it's either like these people are bad, they're like fucking everything up for all of us, or the other side, the flip side in like liberal mainstream media, is that the Republican Party is disintegrating into a million pieces. And that's not true either. That's definitely not true. I think that what a lot of people don't grasp is the thing that they're arguing about, and the fight that's happening isn't even about a policy or something like that. They got some rules changes and shit, I know, but there's not like a thing that they want to pass, like a piece of legislation or anything that's like behind this. It's all just basically about who's going to get to do what, as far as like the clown show that's about to begin. Because they're going to launch investigations into everybody, which I think it's, I would love to see more investigations into politicians on both sides of the aisle. But the investigations that they're going to be launching are like, about Hunter Biden's laptop and shit or whatever. And it's just so not interesting. It's not what we should be focused on, and the kind of corruption that we should be addressing first and foremost. But it is exactly what everybody in the Republican Party wants. And so they're fighting over not some policy, but who's going to get to oversee these sort of the media circus that's about to take place in the coming months. So it's an important thing to remember, that there's not, Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz are going to be back on Fox News with, there's not going to be any problem at all in the next month, I would say. It'll be so quick. They'll put this behind them so quick. They're so good at it. They don't need to remember what Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert did, because they're not going to vote any differently than everybody else. They all vote the same way for the most part. So that'll be fun to watch everything go back to exactly how it was before, really quickly. I think my big takeaway from the whole situation and watching it and taking in, these various speeches and then what people are saying about it in media and shit, is it just is a great example of how ingrained into our system only having two political parties is. Do you know what I'm saying? Because even in the rules for becoming Speaker of the House, you have to get something like half of the votes. And the problem with that is that it incentivizes people to make larger political parties, and to make political parties that include, people that have really different politics. And that is, it's ingrained into our system. It's just sort of there. And so it is tough to remember that, yes, one of the benefits to having more political parties would be like having more choices and people that match with our own individual preferences more. But also it would require the undertaking of like rewriting everything and just sort of completely dismantling a lot of the structural aspects of government and the way that the government functions in a lot of the most simple ways, like, with votes in Congress and shit like that. And so I think that is, one of my takeaways that really got hammered home was, these people don't have any incentives to actually start a third political party or whatever. You saw people talking about that. They're like, oh, is this the beginning of the Patriot Party or whatever? It's like, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until we, do the work necessary to dismantle those systems that have been in place for so long. That's what's so tough about it. But, that was my big takeaway. The other thing that I saw people talking about a lot was, they're like, oh, well, like, all these congressmen and congresswomen are, like, so nice to each other when they're not talking to the news. And it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. They're doing theater on the news. They're doing a bit, basically, a character. None of them actually very much talk to each other that way. It got a little heated, I guess, pretty recently with this whole Kevin McCarthy thing. That guy got his fucking face grabbed or whatever. But, for the most part, yeah, they're pretty polite to each other. And, they know that most people aren't going to be turning on C-SPAN and watching them go up to AOC and be like, oh, hello, how are you? Sorry what I said about you on Newsmax or whatever. So yeah, it was funny to see other people see that for the first time. I think that we should have more physical fights in Congress. I think that'd be really fun to watch. Wouldn't you love to see some of them go at it? Huh? Wouldn't you? It'd be cool. It'd probably be bad. It would be pretty bad for the country, but, are they doing anything good? I say let them fight. Oh, okay. I got to get to, like, a couple more things. The cringe Jimmy Fallon song. Yucky. Dude, this makes me agree with Harry Vox. That's how weird this is. I guess there's a new COVID variant, and, you guys know, whenever there's a new variant, you just get inspired into song, right? You just want to sing about the new variant, the new COVID variant. This is from Jimmy Fallon on, I think, Friday. And this is a song that he wrote.
Guys, I read about a new COVID variant that has some people worried. It's called XBB.1.5. I guess they couldn't think of a catchier name, and it actually inspired me to write a tiny song. There was Alpha, then Delta, then Omicron next, but this latest variant might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk, his name. It's XBB.1.5, not UB40, who sings Red Red Wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy. It's XBB.1.5, not OMG or MP3 or TCBY, or an eye chart made by a really high guy. Sounds like the password of your parents' Wi-Fi. It's XBB.1.5. XBB.1.5.
Shame. Shame on anybody who clapped along to that. God. Dude, it's no wonder people get fucking radicalized. I mean, seriously. That's awful. That is so bad. why are we doing that? Why are we putting that out? I get it if you gotta, you want to make sure that the word gets out about the new COVID variant, but don't do that. Don't make that song, Jimmy Fallon. God, Jesus, oof. I'm a honky that song has churned out more honky patriots than Honky Patriot himself. God, dude. Oof. Yeah. Doesn't that just make you feel gross? It's like I see all this stuff from the worst of the other side, but then I see just Jimmy Fallon from the other half, and I'm like, what the fuck, Jimmy? Apparently he's like a drunk all the time or something. I would be too if I were Jimmy Fallon. I don't think that I could do it. So more power to you, dude. I love the Roots. Shout out to the Roots. That beat was sick. Okay. It's time. It's time to get down to business. It's time to get down to brass tacks, which is, of course, the emails that I got. Thank you so much for sending the emails. I really appreciate it. We're going to start with this one. This is somebody asking me for advice. They say, "Hey, Jake, I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years, but I've known him for 7. His mom is the best. She treats me as if I'm her daughter. She celebrates my birthday. She buys me way too many Christmas gifts, and I really, truly appreciate it. She works for a general store, think Walmart but smaller, and the clothes there are really cheap. For Christmas, she loves to buy me new pajamas. Last year, she got me a set that said Snuggles on it, and the year before, she got me a set with a big cat on it. They are the kind of pajamas that your grandmother would give you as a kid. I really appreciate the thought, and I wear them Christmas morning, but I don't wear them otherwise. Buying pajamas is a Christmas tradition for her, and I don't know how to politely tell her that I don't want pajamas. This year I didn't get to wear the pajamas that she got me because I got a nice set from my parents, so they are still in the packaging. I feel really guilty about donating them, knowing that she spent money and picked them out for me, but they are just not me, and I know I will not enjoy wearing them. Should I just suck it up, or should I say something? It's not like it's causing a rift or anything, but I feel bad getting rid of them every year. I simply don't have space to hoard pajamas I don't wear." Okay. I think that first and foremost, just to get it out of the way, 100% you should not say anything. It's a thing that your mother-in-law or your boyfriend's mom likes to do and is a tradition for her, and you're saying that the only problem with it is that you don't like the pajamas she's getting you, and you're never going to wear them, and it makes you feel bad for donating them. But that's it. That's the only issue. Just go donate them. You shouldn't feel bad for donating them, especially if you're not going to wear them. Somebody else will wear them. Just take them, donate them, and never say anything to this lady. Never say anything to this lady. You sound kind of rude. I'm going to be honest. I appreciate you writing in. But you sound, I don't know, there's like an undertone in this message of, you call the clothes cheap. It seems like you infer that this person doesn't have a lot of money. So even though these pajamas are cheap, you feel bad for donating them because they spent their money on them, and I get all that. But it just doesn't sound like a smart thing to do. This lady is doing something that makes her feel good, and she feels like you like it, and you've been kind of lying about it this whole time, and sure, I'm sure that it is exhausting to lie, because that's what you're doing. You're lying, but now, at this point, it would be better and nicer for you to just keep up the lie and donate the pajamas. Don't say this lady, it's going to hurt her feelings so bad. Yeah. When you get a gift, just say, "Thank you, I love them." and then do whatever with them. You don't have to hoard pajamas. God, what are you thinking? Okay. Thanks for writing in. Sorry that I called you a snob or whatever. That's that one. First email. Thank you. Here's another one. What are some simple things to learn to impress my new girlfriend? Like, what are some little things I can pick up that she will notice? Should I learn to play guitar and write her a song? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Okay. She's already your girlfriend. Why do you have to learn something to impress her? I get, doing something nice is one thing. If you want to learn how to like cook a meal or something to be able to make your girlfriend a nice dinner, or like, I guess, guitar to like play her a song or something. But I would just, if you want to learn guitar, learn it, just pick something that you like, that you're interested in doing, and put dedication and hard work into that, and your girlfriend will be impressed, probably. She likes you. So, she's already your girlfriend. Yeah, just be yourself, dude. Don't overthink it. Chill. But also, you should learn to eat pussy. That is one thing that you should learn. It takes time and effort. But if you get really good at it, it's worth it. So, that is my advice. Gross. I'm gross. That's so disgusting, dude. But that's for everybody. Everybody should know how. It's like driving stick. Everybody should know how to eat pussy. Okay. Last one. This one is about comedy. So I can do this one good. I got asked to host a show for the first time. It's next week. What makes the host set different than a regular set? What do I need to keep in mind content-wise? Any general advice would be helpful. Okay. Yeah, dude, the biggest thing that's different about a host set from a regular set is that you're responsible for setting the tone of the show, and you're responsible for making sure that everybody has a good time and is comfortable and is feeling, relaxed and ready to let loose and laugh. That's your number one job as a host, is you have to get the audience primed for a comedy show. And what that means is you have to remember that there are people in the audience that they may have never been to a comedy show, for all you know. They may have never been to a stand-up comedy show. They may have never watched, a live comedy show in their life. And it's hard as a comedian because we go and see so much comedy and go to so much live comedy that it's easy for us to forget that other people out there don't do that as often as we do. And so you definitely want to keep that in mind and make sure that you sort of set expectations from the beginning for people so that they can, understand what's going to happen. You can't just go up there and start doing your material immediately. You have to sort of welcome them and introduce the fact that the show is starting to them before you can just jump into your material. And, I like to go over hey, don't yell anything out at the comedians. Put your phone on silent if you haven't already. And I try to make like a joke or something about the fact that it's a comedy show and that they can laugh or whatever, Try to just get them ready for the show, and then you can do your material. And content-wise, it really is, I would say just keep it simple, keep it relatively clean, but it really depends on the situation, I guess, on what you should keep in mind. But I would say a good rule of thumb for hosting is keep it simple, keep it clean, And then other than that, you need to just be paying attention. You need to be focused on the show. And you need to make sure that you know how much time everybody's doing. You need to make sure you know who's gonna when they're gonna get on or off stage, like that kind of stuff, and know everybody's intro and shit. Are you hosting a show? Is it at like a bar? Is it at a club with like a featuring a headliner? Or is it like a showcase with 10 comedians or something? Just know what's going on and be aware and be paying attention. And especially if it's like a showcase or something like that, or it's in a bar, less like formal sort of setting for comedy, then you're going to want to make sure that you're watching. And if somebody does something or is like eating shit or something happens, you can then go up in between people before you bring up the next person and try to do something to sort of reset the energy in the room. Maybe don't shit on the person or whatever. That's always bad form. Well, not always. Sometimes it's really funny. But, just be careful, be cautious and in that regard. But, you don't want to hurt somebody, that just ate shit. Don't want to hurt them even more. But also, it's okay to acknowledge, like, hey, people bomb sometimes, and be able to sort of hit that reset button for the audience. That's a good thing, too. So, yeah, that's my advice on hosting a comedy show. I guess that brings us to the end of the podcast. I love you very much, and I appreciate you guys checking it out. I was so excited to get the emails, so I really, really, really appreciate that. If you have anything, again, jaken.off.podcast@gmail.com, jaken.off.podcast on Instagram. Send it my way. Maybe you have your own version of Honky Patriot that you watch. You want me to see it. But, yeah, hit me up on there. I really love you. I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.